Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. This is Saving the Investor radio show. I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional, here with John Antonucci, and we are going to have a great show. A lot of things happen, big numbers for the Dow, so we'll get going as soon as John starts his routine here.
Yeah, great to be in studio with you, Alfie. You know, on today's show, we're going to address some key questions about savings required for a comfortable retirement. Alfie's going to discuss some risk management and income strategies to bridge any gap between the retirement lifestyle you envision and your current savings. As always, our program is going to begin with a market update, but Alfie is making an offer today because if economic uncertainties, the election year, is putting your financial decisions on hold, you really need to grab a hold of Alfie's free toolkit that will help transform your worries into confidence. All you have to do is pick up the phone and text or call the operator. You can text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. You know, inside Alfie's toolkit, it's going to give you a wide range of materials, which you really need. Will your money last as long as you do? You need to answer that question. Are you paying too much in taxes in retirement? The Social Security's decision guide, and will a recession rob your retirement? Get a hold of Alfie's free toolkit today. Pick up the phone, call the operator, or text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. It's time for a worry-free retirement. Get Alfie's toolkit today. And Alfie, the market has been rocking and rolling this week. Maybe it's on the announcement of a couple of debates that President Trump and President Biden are going to be having starting in June. But a lot of exciting things. I can't wait. I'm getting my popcorn ready. It's going to be an exciting time.
Oh, it's going to be a great summer. Summer of fun.
Yeah, summer of love, as they say in Seattle.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, it's markets has been rolling. Matter of fact, I had a client send me something a couple weeks back, and he said that this guy, he read this article, and it was going on the 15th of this month, the market was going to crash.
Wow.
And
what was the basis for that?
Yeah, just, he was charting, and he was saying that, when you have inverted yield curves and this and that, and he gave the reason why, and he was right once or twice before, one time for sure, but that was many years ago, and they don't talk about how many times he's been wrong.
Even a dead clock's right twice a day,
Absolutely. You're right about that. So, people like that, these prognosticators, just drive me crazy because it's, they put fear, and if they're putting fear, that means they're selling something. Of course, this guy was selling his method of, how to trade the market. And I said to my client, I said, don't forget, he's the one that told you about when Amazon was down, that you should be getting rid of Amazon if you're holding Amazon, and it's been up 60 to almost 80% since he said that. So again, yes, the market is on a roll, and it proves that it doesn't matter who's in the White House, the market is bigger than the White House. And we've been saying that for years. There's things in the White House and Congress and Senate. Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about that, but the market is bigger than that.
Yeah, well, the market this week, crested 40,000 on the Dow, which is a big number. Is the earnings up in most sectors? Is that why the market is progressing up?
So, you have unemployment that came out. So less people are filing for unemployment. So the economy is still strong. That's the good thing. The economy is still strong, and people are still spending, and people are still working. That's the thing. So, but numbers are being hit. With GDP came out, the inflation is lower. That's why the market really had a nice old tick up this week, because the numbers came out where it looks like inflation is slowing down. So the market is saying, hey, the Feds might make a rate cut sooner than later. So we'll see. But the good thing, inflation did come down a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to note that. And, if you're invested or if you're on the sidelines, now is a great time to come in to Alfie's office in Fort Myers or Naples. Alfie does what's called a retirement simulator process that will help get you to and through retirement. And basically, he'll take a deep dive into your current portfolio to see what's really going on. He's going to make sure that you're allocated properly, that you're diversified correctly, that you're not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting. He's also going to expose all the hidden fees inside your portfolio that could be eating up your returns each and every year. You owe it to yourself to get a second pair of eyes, even if you've had an advisor for many years. Alfie is Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional with over 40 years of experience in this industry. All you have to do is call the operator or text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077, and you can visit with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. Alfie, you know, housing starts are rebounding in April, which is a good sign as well, isn't it?
That's a good sign, but what that means is people are building now because the inventory is low. I mean, if you think about it, people are staying in their home. The homes are, you know, they were talking about these baby boomers are staying in their bigger homes where they were getting rid of them, downsizing, but they're liking the bigger home. They're liking the bigger home, and you know, we knocked our house down, and we're going bigger, and that's people are doing that right now. There's you know, because their family comes back and they visit them, and you know, it's and to move out of your home right now and get something else. Remember, mortgage rates are low or are high compared to what they were. They had a low rate if their home isn't paid off. So there's a lot of reasons why people are staying in their home, and the inventory is very, very low right now. You can't, you know, it's really a buyer's market out there if you're wanting to, you know, because they're sitting on the market. They're sitting on the market a lot longer than they were just, you know, a year ago.
Yeah, and you said that inflation is down now. If the Fed comes in and starts cutting rates drastically, I mean, is that going to?
They're not going to do that.
Okay,
they're not going to do that.
So what do you see taking place? I mean, do you see
well,
a quarter point or half point?
Yeah, it's going to be, you know, quarter points here and there. And the good thing about having rates the way they are, if something does happen, God forbid, a terrorist attack or you know, the economy is just spiraling down, you know, you have wiggle room in there. When the rates were at 0 or at 1 or 2, you know, you didn't have much room to lower those rates to get the economy going again. Now you do. So that's a good thing about having rates at a little bit higher, but they do need to come down because, you know, mortgage rates are still at 7.5%. 7.5% is just too, you know, it's not the 14% that people were paying in the 70s and 80s and, you know, 18%, but they are still high in a sense of what they were. You know, people were used to that 2.5%, 3%.
Yeah, you sort of get you know, lulled to sleep, and you don't want to really move off of that at 7%. That's why you're saying people are staying in their houses longer. But
People are definitely
if they're
staying.
building, they've got to get construction loans or, you know, type of things as well, don't they?
Yep, you got to get construction loans, and that costs money. Construction loan. As a matter of fact, I got one of my credit cards. We pay our credit cards off every month, but one of my credit cards said, "Hey, with your credit rating, we can get you a loan on a car at," it was 10.5%.
What a deal, huh?
What a deal. I was saying I should go ahead and get 2 cars. But anyway, we're going to talk when we get back. We had one of our CFAs that we really look up to and get information from. We're going to talk about what his, you know, predictions are for the rest of the coming year with this election.
Yeah, well, Alfie is a certified financial planner professional with over 40 years experience in this industry. He's a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you. Alfie doesn't market time, track record, invest, or even stock pick. He puts together an income plan and a strategy that will help get you to and through retirement. You know, Alfie has just published his second book called Making Waves in Retirement. It's been in high demand each and every week, and he's offering a complimentary copy to you today. It awaits you. All you have to do is call the operator or text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. You know, Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. You don't want to miss out on the insights, including many, many stories about investors that he has helped save over the years. He helps save people from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street, and he is looking out for your best interest. get a hold of this book. It's really going to revolutionize your life and give you a strategy to get you to and through retirement. Pick up the phone right now. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till the broadcast is over. Call the operator or text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. Get a hold of Alfie's book, Making Waves in Retirement. You also can go to the website, savingtheinvestor.com. Again, you'll find a wealth of information about Alfie, his company, and all the services that he offers here at the Advantage Retirement Group. Savingtheinvestor.com. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. You can meet with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. Have a portfolio review. You owe it to yourself to get a second pair of eyes on your current situation. Give him a call or text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. On today's show, we're going to address some key questions about savings required for a comfortable retirement. We're going to discuss risk management and income strategies to bridge any gap between the retirement lifestyle you envision and your current savings. And Alfie has met with some incredible CFAs. Maybe you could tell our listeners what that actually is, Alfie, and what are some of the things that they discussed with you that really in an election year will enable people to get to and through retirement.
As many of you know, I'm a CFP, which is a certified financial planner professional. So my job is to really deal directly with clients, look at the overall picture, and then make some recommendations. So our job is to understand what, taxes are going to be, if we're going to be looking at, you need a will, a trust, an estate plan. Do you need life insurance for estate taxes, homeowners insurance, portfolio reviews. These are all things that as a CFP, we're looking at the big picture, and then we get the people that we need on our team to help. If it's going to be a trust, trustees, we're there for them, and then we find the problem, and then we fix this. We make a solution for it. As you know, we travel the world really to really find the best people to help our clients. And so one of our partners is we had a conversation with them this week. He's a CFA, that's a chartered financial analyst. They're the ones that really don't meet with clients. What they do is they're just number crunchers. They sit in a room, I always kid, by themselves and just crunch numbers and really dissect what they're finding out. And so what Bob was talking about was interesting this week. He said, I'm going to predict our prediction. Now, sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but he gave us a percentage of what it would look like if Trump wins or what it would look like if Biden wins, if the House holds, if the Senate holds. So these are good information. So the range of the election. So the odds of a recession he started with in the next 12 to 15 months are lower than 50%. So that's a pretty good number. So, people say, when are we going to be in a recession? It's a 50-50, but it's not going to be until 12 to 15 months from now. So the next year, it looks like we're not going to be in a recession. Now, who is Trump going to pick? That was the question that, and this guy lives in Virginia, and so I think it's going to be, Youngkin would be a great pick.
That'd be excellent. It
would be a great pick, but he said he thinks it's going to be Rubio or Haley.
Why would he need Florida though? What's the consensus for Rubio?
Rubio, the Spanish vote.
Right.
So what he was saying is he looks at it different. Trump wants to align himself to get him into the White House.
Right.
Whatever it takes to get into the White House. So Rubio would be the Spanish votes, some of the moderate votes. The other one was Nikki Haley. Now, they already said he's not going to pick Nikki Haley, but if he didn't say he wasn't going to pick her for VP, because what happened, what he was saying is, again, she has the moderate, she has the ladies, and people like her.
Right.
And if he wants to win, that could be the top one. And if you think of it that way, It could be.
Could be. Yeah.
Could
I
be.
mean, I like Haley. Other than she's a little bit establishment, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But she's been a lot. She's been the ambassador. She's been a governor. She's so that could be a good. Now he has it at 60% chance of Trump winning the election.
Yeah. Do they factor in what's going on with RFK though? Because from what I've heard, he's pulling a lot of votes from Trump.
No.
From their internal polling, RFK said that Trump is, they would if he wasn't in the race, they would vote for Trump. All of RFK's votes.
Yeah. I think he's taking all that. I don't think RFK is going to be in the. I don't know if he was looking at just. I think it was just Biden and that, but he's not going to be in the debate or anything. So
No.
I doubt it. He's not going to be on enough ballots, John, to be a factor. I think.
Right.
That's my opinion. But anyway, 40% chance that the GOP sweeps. Now this is talking about. This is for the House. I think he was talking about for the House, and then there's a better chance for the Senate, a 55% chance for the Senate. So he was showing why the Senate is. There's more Democrats that are having to defend. And there's 3 of them. I think there's 5 of them, and 3 of them are in red states. One of them's Manchin. That's going out.
Right.
And so there's a good chance we're going to have possibly the presidency and the Senate. The House is going to be harder to win. So what does that mean for your portfolio? Right. We're talking about all this, and it does have the price. Or the tax cuts. They were talking about tax cuts are going to probably if Biden gets in, they're going to expire, but he's going to make some deals. He will make some deals where the top tax bracket goes up, but everything else pretty much stays down. The estate taxes will come down. So it was interesting to listen to this conversation with someone that really dissects. He's the one that did predict that. Hillary in 2016 was going to pick, what was his name? Kane.
Yeah.
That he predicted that. That was from his home state of Virginia. And the reason why he thought about it this way is because Hillary has been around strong men, right? And they overpower her in the sense that they're more popular than her. And she didn't want another strong male competing against her. So they picked a smart guy, but obviously he wasn't, he wasn't known.
Yeah.
And that's what she wanted.
Yeah. Well, very interesting insights from that CFA. And we're talking about the tax cuts being extended. You don't have to be a rocket science. If Trump wins, the tax cuts are going to be extended 4 more years. If Biden wins, they're going to expire. And that is a ticking time bomb that you really need to have a plan that addresses uncertainties, because that's what we're in, but will instill confidence in your future. As a certified financial planner professional, Alfie has put together what's called a tax map that will strive to help you achieve 3 key goals. Number 1, lower your tax bracket so there's more money in your pocket each and every year. Number 2, protect your money when taxes rise. If they do rise, you have to have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. Really, you want to create tax-free income, and Alfie can help you do that. Alfie has put together a tax map, and guess what? It's absolutely free. You need to get a hold of it right now. Don't wait. Pick up the phone right now. Call the operator or text the word TAX, T-A-X, to 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. Don't hesitate. Call or text the word TAX right now to 239-747-1077. Get a hold of Alfie's tax map. The time to minimize future taxes and generate tax-free income is right now. Pick up the phone, call the operator, or text the word TAX to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, we don't know what's going to happen until November 5th. Obviously, that's clear as day. But you put together this tax map program and this plan that really will help investors have a strategy to get them really reduce their tax liabilities. Yeah. Maybe you can touch on a couple of things that really will get them to call the number and get a hold of that, because if it's free, they need to have it in their arsenal so that they can be ready for whatever happens.
We know, we can all agree on one thing, is taxes are going to be going up. Taxes are going to be going up because of the debt that we have. Now, one thing that Bob said, this is our CFA economist. What he said is that the burden that we have right now on the deficit, it is a burden, but it's not going to affect us immediately. It will take some time. This is the second one I've heard say this. Last week we had another portfolio manager say the same thing. This is something that's going to be down the road because our GDP. We have so much, money coming in from GDP, and it's not an immediate concern right now.
It's probably not going to affect our lifetime, is it?
No, it's going to definitely. It's our kids and grandkids, but things are going to have to start being tackled. What he said, if Trump gets in, he'll probably go after not Medicare, but he'll probably go after Medicaid. There's a lot that he can cut with Medicaid to save the Social Security. A lot of cuts there to help pay for, to get this deficit down. And one thing also, once the rates start to come down, the interest rates start to come down, that's going to relieve some of the burden on paying this high rate for the loan repayment. So there's a lot that, you just have to look at the whole big picture. And if you don't have anybody helping you looking at the big picture, it might be a time to give us a call and say, you know what, I like the way you're tackling everything as opposed to just, looking at portfolios. We look at what portfolios and what asset classes you need to be in. So think of that. We'll be right back. Good morning, Southwest Florida. You're listening to Saving the Investor radio show. I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional, here with Pastor John Antonucci, and we are going to give you a boatload of information that you can take to the bank. Literally, because we're going to show you, talk about really taxes, how's that going to affect you in the long run, and just, we know we have a debt, so there's a whole lot we're going to talk about, and stay tuned, take notes, you're not going to want to miss this.
Yeah, great to be in studio with you today, Alfie, and welcome to Saving the Investor radio broadcast. Alfie and his team are dedicated to helping investors just like you. He's going to help you navigate the complexities of the ever-evolving investment landscape. Today is no exception. As our population ages, there is a significant strain on those nearing retirement. That might be you today. With the move away from traditional pension plans to self-managed retirement savings, investors find themselves falling short and concerned about how to convert their savings into a steady retirement income stream. On today's show, Alfie's going to show you the savings required for a comfortable retirement. We're going to talk about risk management and income strategies to bridge any gap between the retirement lifestyle you envision and your current savings. And if you would like a review, Alfie is available to meet with you in Fort Myers or Naples, two beautiful offices. All you have to do is text the word VISIT or call the operator to 239-747-1077. Text the word VISIT or call the operator and say, I want to meet with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. This is a great time to have your portfolio reviewed to make sure that you're on course to your retirement plan and strategy. Make sure that you're rebalancing correctly, that you're allocated properly, that you're diversified properly. All the things that Alfie will do for you will really give you a vision of a future that is tailor-made to what your custom plan would be, and he puts that income plan together. So today's broadcast, we're going to talk about income planning and strategies to protect and generate income. And Alfie, that's what most of our listeners are probably thinking about today. If I am tired, I want to protect what I've saved. And if I haven't retired yet, or I'm soon to be retired, I want to find out if I can still generate income in retirement. Yeah. And you could do both for people, can't you?
Yeah, let's talk about this, because I always say income planning is one of the most important parts when it comes to a retirement plan. A lot of people, look, you're working, you get paid every, biweekly, you're putting money into your 401k, you're saving for it, but you got income coming in. Now you retire. That's a whole new different game. That's a whole new ball game right there. What you have to do at this point is take the money that you currently saved, and you have to generate an income with it. Now, do-it-yourselfers, it's not, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, that's okay. If you have a pension coming in, fantastic. It's easier to do. But if you don't have an income coming in, now you're going to have to take your money and create an income. I always say, and I've said this for years, if we cannot show you that that you can benefit from, because you pay us, we don't work for free. But you don't want us if we work for free. I know John always says if it's free, it's for me. But you don't want someone that's doing something free for you when it comes to your retirement. Now, when we give you when you call in and we send you your books, of course that's free. When we send you reports, of course that's free. But when we do work and when we're looking at your financial plan and putting a heavy-duty plan together as a certified financial planner professional, yeah, I can charge you. I can charge you thousands of dollars just to put a plan together for you because that's what that designation allows me to do. But I choose not to do that. What I do is I look at your accounts, and then if I can show you that you can benefit from using us, you'll see it. You'll see it black and white. It's very easy. But what income planning is one of the harder parts when it comes to financial planning because you have to look at things when the market's going down, when the market's going up. So some of the tools that we use are going to be called, we're going to be doing indexing. We're going to be doing structured notes. We could do, some type of fixed annuities in that sense. It has an income rider. We're going to be doing it's really different tools that will, look at your income and make sure that we're staying ahead of inflation. That's the other thing. You got to stay ahead of inflation. And you also have to have investments that are growing that is really staying ahead of inflation. That has nothing to do, John, with your income. That money is sitting there to grow. That's not sitting there just to take income from, because the more aggressive we're going to be in part of your portfolio, not all of it, part of it, we are using that for growth, inflation, not income.
Yeah. Well, we have listeners that are listening to us in 3 different categories that you talk about, those that are in their go-go years, those that are in their slow-go years, and those that are in their no-go years. And you always preach that they need to have in all of those phases 3 buckets of money or 3 phases of income strategies. Maybe you can talk about that for our listeners to let them know that they want to keep all of those buckets pretty much towards their retirement plan. What would those be?
Yeah, you want to have money that's sitting there that is for emergency. This is money that's earning interest, but you're not, you're only going to take that out, for emergency or for a car. If you're going to buy a car, you're going to buy something, you're going to have that money sit there. You don't want that invested. But then you're going to have money that's designed for, for taxes. You could say, I want some tax deferred money. So you could have a bucket for tax deferred, tax free. You have different buckets of money. You have tax different buckets, and then you have investments that are different buckets too. So your investment buckets would be to grow, not to really take for income, to fight inflation, to grow. You want this, like a NVIDIA stock, to grow. You want those type of portfolios that you're not really going to be taking money out of at this time. There will be a time, John, that will take some of that money and move it over to a more of an income account or more of a safe haven account. But you have to have different income. So your safety, your income account, and then your growth money, okay? And then the same when it comes to taxes. You want your taxable account, your tax deferred account, and your tax-free account. Your tax-free account or your life insurance that you can borrow off of, or your Roth. Your Roth money. Hopefully you have converted some of your money to Roth. If you haven't, you need to really think about that. Give us a call and we can run some proposals for you to show you if it's worth the do or not. But a lot of times it's worth it. It's like pay me now or pay me later. You pay, if the market has hiccups, meaning it's going down, that's a best time to do a Roth conversion. When the market goes down, you do a Roth conversion because typically the money you take out of there and put into a Roth, that money is going to go up faster because the market tends to rebound faster. So there's just a lot of different strategies that we look at, John, when it comes to a financial plan.
Yeah, well, you're dealing with somebody who has 40 years experience in this industry as a certified financial planner professional. He's a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is not to the products that he offers or services, but is to you, the investor. And you might be listening to us today feeling overwhelmed and anxious by the effect of inflation, all the things that are happening out in the marketplace. And if you put your economic, financial decisions on hold, Alfie has put together a free toolkit that will help transform your worries of retirement into confidence. You want to pick up this toolkit because there's white papers in there that will give you valuable information that will help get you to and through retirement, whatever phase you're in the retirement process. Inside that toolkit, you're going to get a paper that says, will your money last as long as you do? You need to answer that question. You don't want to be going back to work after you've retired for many years or even decades. Are you paying too much in taxes in retirement? Alfie has a way of reducing your tax liability each and every year that will help you really put more money in your pocket if you can pay less taxes, and he's going to show you a way to do that. That's going to go down the line as far as maximizing your retirement benefits. The Social Security Decisions Guide, and will a recession rob your retirement? All you have to do to get this toolkit is either call the operator or text the word KIT to 239-747-1077. Just text or call the operator, text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. It'll take you to a landing page you'll be able to check out and get all that information absolutely free. It's time for a worry-free retirement. You know, Alfie, you talk to people all the time, and you like to ask them what's keeping them up at night. A lot of people are worried about the retirement, and most people really probably their number one worry would be to run out of money, and your job is to make sure that they don't.
Yeah, definitely. Our job is to look at the whole picture, John. It's the worst feeling is you take your last check and that's all the money you have out. Could you imagine that?
Imagine that, yeah.
I mean, it's you know, you have to make sure that you have a plan to tackle inflation. You have a plan that, hey, who would think that, you know, over the last few years that inflation, you know, would be at 20% for some items. You know, that's like restaurant and food, which is big items, increase over 20%. So you have to have accounts that are making money. You have to have accounts that you're taking out for income. You have to have accounts that are tax-free. So you just have to look at the full picture. A lot of times advisors are just looking at the investments, trying to grow the money, but they're not looking at taxes. They're not looking at a solid income plan. They're not looking at a tax, you know, really estate plan. So if your advisor, you know, you might have, we've said this many times, you might have outgrown your advisor. You started your advisor many, many years ago, and they're your friends, or you moved. A lot of times, you know, in Florida, people have their advisor up north, but I think you need to see your advisor face to face. If you're not able to see your advisor face to face and look at the different things that we're doing, it might be time to change advisors, or it might be time to at least take a look at what we can offer for you. And like John talked about, that retirement simulator, it takes your current portfolio and puts it in perspective of what the heck is in this thing. You have no idea what's in this thing, especially if you have mutual funds or ETFs. You have no idea what your holdings are. So that's what this retirement simulator will do. It will dissect it, tell you what your fees are. It will tell you what your holdings are. If you're an international, what your sectors are. How much technology do you have? How much energy do you have? How much utilities do you have? You know, what are you holding inside? So if you haven't really had your portfolio had a checkup from the neck up, it's time to give us a call, 239-747-1077, and we'll get that done for you. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. Alfie has over 40 years experience as a CFP in this industry, and Alfie has just come out with a brand new book, Making Waves in Retirement. And guess what? A complimentary copy is awaiting you. If you haven't received your complimentary copy of his book, a new shipment just came in this week. To claim your book, all you have to do is call the operator and ask for it, or text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. You know, Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. You don't want to miss out on the valuable insights, including many stories about investors that he has helped save over the years. You know, he named this broadcast Saving the Investor because he wants to save you from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street. And he's put together a book that will really answer some questions that you're probably asking. Pick up the phone, call the operator, or text the word book right now, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, there was a study done the top three financial concerns or worries that our listeners have. One of them is inflation, one of them is outliving savings, one of them is market volatility, and one is income in retirement. Maybe you can touch on a few of those topics because that's what's keeping people up at night.
Yeah, so this is the difference, how women think of things and how men think of things. Now, some of them are very, similar, which is good. So, one of the biggest fear is inflation. The biggest fear is inflation. So, women is 57% of women are fearing inflation. 53% men fear inflation. Now, that makes sense because inflation is hitting most at the grocery stores,
right,
and your pocketbook. Right.
It's like a tax, isn't it?
It's inflation. Perfect, John. It is. It's a tax on, these are things that you're paying 20% more for. Some of these things are, if you're paying 20% more for an item that you were paying, just a few years ago, that is a big, big tax. You're right. So now the second biggest is income in retirement. So that's what's keeping people up at night. The women, it's 47% is saying, where am I going to get the income? I'm concerned about income. And we always talk about, and the men are at 41% when it comes to, income for women is very important. Now, market volatility for man is more important, for men are more important. So they're looking at the volatility is 41%. That's what their concerns them. Where income in retirement, where are you going to get that income from? We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
You retire, you got a paycheck for your whole life, and now you got to create that money. Create income from that money that you saved. How am I going to do that? And that's a big question.
Takes a strategy, doesn't it?
Takes a strategy, and that's what we talk here at the Advanced Retirement Group. We give you that strategy. We give you that secret recipe, that sauce that gives you income that you don't have to worry about. We do it with different vehicles. We're going to do it with some structured notes, with some buffer ETFs. We can do it with some fixed annuities. Interest rates are higher now, so you can get so much more for your money. I tell our clients, new people that come in, let us put the plan together and let us educate you on what we're utilizing and tell you why we're using these vehicles to get you the income. Another thing is outliving your savings. That's women is 45% of them and 46% of men. So this is about the same. In the mid-40s is a big concern. That's almost 50%. Think about that. If you're thinking about, I'm concerned about outliving my income.
Yeah, that's a lot. Sure.
That's a lot.
Because then you'd have to go back to work if you didn't, right?
You have to go, and you see it. You see it at you see it at grocery stores. You see it at Publix's. You see it when you go. Just older people are working.
Yeah.
Now, our clients, I tell them, hey, if you want to go back to work, I want you to go back to work because you want to go back to work, not because you need to go back to work. That's a difference. So maybe some of these people are working because they just don't want to sit at home. We have clients that, some that are retired executives from big corporations, and they need to stay busy. Their mind needs to keep moving, and the ones that go, there's a guy that goes to that's a bag guy at our golf course.
Yeah.
At the bag drop, and he cleans your clubs and all that. And I told him, I said, "What'd you do? When before you retired? Because he's in his 60s, and he ran a big grocery chain,
Right.
big one, Kroger's. I knew. And then he goes, after that, I was a pastor for 20 years. Because I knew he was a leader, and so, but he's not doing this for tips.
Right.
He's doing this because he just wants to get out of the house and play golf.
Yeah.
He's not doing it because he has to. He's doing it because he wants to, and that's the difference. But when you're concerned about outliving your money, then that's an issue right there. And inflation was even more than all of them. So if you have some concerns, if you don't know if you're going to outlive your money, if you don't know what's going on inside your accounts. If you don't have an income plan in place, John's going to set you up with what we do here at the Advanced Retirement Group with the Retirement Simulator, how we're going to check everything out, and you're going to be leaving with more information than you can imagine, and it's going to be information that you could put to use.
Yeah, this is a time really to have your portfolio examined. Alfie has put together what's called a retirement simulator process. And really, it's sort of like a stress test on your portfolio, just like pilots have to go into a simulator to simulate all of the, different situations they may face in a storm or in, an engine failing. He does the same thing with your portfolio. And what he does is he takes your portfolio and he brings you back 5 years, and then he goes back 5 years with the portfolio he would have created for you. And you're going to see in side-by-side comparison in black and white exactly how his portfolio would have performed compared to yours. And he's going to make sure that you're allocated properly, that you're diversified correctly, that you're not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting. He actually has a risk program, not from 0 to 10, what's your risk factor. He puts in a program that will tell you exactly what your risk tolerance is. Maybe you're taking too much risk for the amount of return that you're getting right now. Maybe you can lower your risk and maximize a greater return. He's going to make sure that you're rebalancing. All of those things expose the hidden fees inside your portfolio that could be eating up your returns. This retirement simulator is something that you need to grab a hold of. It's free. It's complimentary to you. You can meet with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples to take advantage of this retirement simulator process. Either call the operator and ask for it, or text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Again, you owe it to yourself. Even if you have an advisor or you're a do-it-yourselfer, what do you have to lose? You have everything to gain by taking a look at what Alfie can do for you. You're talking about a man that has 40 years of experience as a fiduciary and as a certified financial planner professional. His goal is to get you to and through retirement. And if inflation is your concern, income in retirement, market volatility, or outliving your savings is a part of what's on your mind right now, you have to meet with him in Fort Myers or Naples today, because it's going to be advantageous for you, and you're going to see what the Advantage Retirement Difference can do for you. Alfie, a lot of people are concerned about these numbers, and it all affects their pocketbook, and that's what everybody's concerned with.
Well, it affects their pocketbook, but it also affects their mental, what they're thinking about all the time, their sleep.
It's hard to enjoy life.
It's hard to enjoy life. When you have a plan, you can enjoy life a whole lot better when you know where your money's coming from. You're not going to be outliving your money, and your money is growing with even in volatile markets. You have to have a plan, and if you don't have that plan, like John said, give us a call, and we'll put that plan together for you. Most people do want to have an advisor. A lot of them aren't do-it-yourselfers. There are some do-it-yourselfers out there, but for the do-it-yourselfers, I always ask, can your spouse do the same thing that you're doing? You answer that question, yes, then keep doing what you're doing. But if your spouse does not want anything to do with it or can't, then that's something you want to think about to come in. I don't know if you ever seen our TV show Saving the Investor. It's on NBC every Sunday at 11 o'clock. 11 to 11:30 is called Saving the Investor, and that follows Meet the Press. And then, of course, on this show right here, we've been on it for well over 10 years now, 11, 12 years, I think. In 92.5, we have Jake has been helping us. Jake the Millennial, as everybody knows him, been helping us for many years. Hopefully he makes us sound better than we are. But we appreciate, this show, because we get a lot of the things that we talk about is the feedback that we get from our listeners and our viewers that wants us to talk about things that are concerning them. So we want to bring it to you and hopefully give you some insight on what we would do different than what you might be doing now. So we love doing this show. We love you guys and girls. And until next week, have a safe, blessed weekend. We'll be back.